Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Coffee with Father James. I came up the hill with Brad just after lunch, and I sat down, we were about to shoot, and I said, oh my goodness, I forgot my coffee. Like, I don't have coffee. I can't do coffee with Father James without coffee. So because of time limitations, we had to make a bit of a shortcut. So I had to find a prop. And so I just want to be open here and honest, transparent. There is actually no coffee, but we do have coffee hardware. So I found this. So it's still technically in some ways Coffee with Father James. And I was able to find a mug. Brad had a mug. Now it's got water in it, but this is Brad's mug. It says caffeine fueled ministry. I'm all in favor of caffeine fueled ministry. You know, we can change the world with caffeine and the Holy Spirit. Caffeine and the Holy Spirit. Amazing things can happen. So I have news for you today. Big news. And I want to make that the primary focus of the message today. How to say this? Well, on Friday last week, the Archdiocese sent out an announcement about pastoral changes. And Father Rob Alford, as of July 28th, will become the pastor of Stella Maris Parish in Halifax. So that is the former St. Michael's Parish in Spryfield, St. John the Baptist Parish in Purcell's Cove, Herring Cove Parish, St. Paul's in Herring Cove, and St. Peter's in Ketch Harbor. So that whole area. So Father Rob is leaving. Now, the bishop told me this was going to happen about 5 weeks ago, and to be honest, I wasn't surprised. I was sad. Like I've been a priest for coming up 24 years, and I love working with Father Rob. He's a fantastic priest, and he's going to make a great pastor. I'm going to miss him because we get on so well. It's like we laugh a lot, do a lot of laughing. We're working with Rob. And I'm going to miss him. And when the bishop told me, I said to the bishop, well, I'm not surprised. I mean, he's incredibly talented, and he's a great human being, and he's going to be a great pastor. And it's kind of like I'm not surprised that he was moved. The bishop's in a difficult spot. You know, he's got the whole diocese to try to shepherd and provide pastors for. And Father Rob, even though he's just not even 1 year ordained a priest, he does have experience leading pastoral ministry and being a pastor back before he became Catholic. So it's a huge loss for us. I mean, Father Rob has been an incredible gift. His amazing homilies, his insight, his patience, unlike your pastor, his gentle ways. His funny jokes when he puts on a Newfie accent. We're going to miss him. We're going to miss him a lot. And we wish him well as he moves to his new assignment. I know he's going to do a great job. And so that's the big piece of news. July 28th is the transition time. You know, that last week of July we had planned a while back. I was going to take a vacation week, last week of July, first week of August. In the middle of June, Father Rob has 2 weeks vacation planned. So we're going to have to figure out a way and a time to say goodbye to Rob. Father Rob, he shared with our staff team earlier today that he's not very good at goodbyes, but we're going to say goodbye. And we want to celebrate his ministry with us and the gift that he's been to us. And so more information on that coming soon. We've got to figure out how we're going to do that. And so many of you, I hope many of you are thinking, well, Father James, where does that leave us as a parish in terms of priests? Where does that leave you? Are you going to have to do everything? Are we becoming a one priest parish? And thankfully, the answer to that is no, not quite. Bishop's very aware of our needs here. And so I've got a bit of good news on that front. So a couple of months ago, I did put in a request for a deacon for the parish. And of course, Deacon Jack, who served our parish wonderfully for many years, officially retired quite a long time ago, and recently he retired from retirement, as you may know. So I think we've felt keenly the lack of diaconal ministry in our parish. So thanks be to God. The good news is that a deacon, on this announcement last Friday, it was also announced that a deacon is being appointed to Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish. And it's Deacon David Viscount, who presently is serving at St. Benedict Parish. That's right, yeah, my old parish. And he came onto our team when I was pastor there. So I know Deacon David, I know his wife Patty and his family. I actually was David and Patty's pastor at St. Thomas Aquinas Canadian Martyrs Parish back as early as 2004. So I've known David for a long time, journeyed with him. He's an amazing guy. They're an amazing family, and David wasn't looking to move. This is a act of faith for him, but he and Patty are both looking forward to this, and I'm very excited to have David on team. So that brings us a deacon. So that is quite significant as I anticipate the future. The other thing, in conversation with the bishop had told me that he was in conversation with with a priest who was about to retire, to see if he would be willing to give, say, about a quarter time to help out with sacramental ministry. And that priest, I followed up with him. We looked at different options and different ways to do this. And thanks be to God, this priest has said yes to helping us in the short term until we find a more permanent solution to the question of priestly ministry. So I'm pleased to announce to you that Father Pat Cosgrove, presently the pastor at St. Ignatius in Bedford, will be retiring from parish ministry. He's going to work full-time in Chalice. Many of you know Father Pat as the founder of Chalice, an incredible ministry that's working all over the world and doing amazing things. Many of you sponsor a Chalice child. So Father Pat is going to help us with about a quarter of his time. So he will help out with maybe 1 or 2 weekday masses, a couple of funerals, perhaps each month, other sacramental needs. What he won't be doing, he won't, in a sense, be doing kind of a permanent ministry, or that's not the right word, not permanent, but like he won't be coming to meetings, he won't be coming to staff meetings. He won't be a member of the staff per se, but simply helping out. And we're kind of, it's kind of like rent a priest, so we get the priestly ministry covered. And I think between Deacon David and Father Pat helping out, we have a good short-term solution. Now, there's still a big gap because Father Rob was doing, anyone who knows Father Rob, he's a very hard worker, and Rob had a whole other range of responsibilities. So we're working with the leadership team to say, how do we cover that in the short term or the medium term? Because, the other challenge for us is that this is a rapidly changing reality that we find ourselves in. Never mind the amalgamation and everything we've gone through. Once this pandemic is over, I mean, how many people are going to come back to church? I don't know. None of us know what our parish is going to look like a year from now. So we have to keep our eyes on the goal and step forward in faith and do the best that we can. So we are working on it, and when I have more information, I will let you know about that. So please pray for Father Rob as he prepares to take his leave. We will celebrate him and bless him. Pray for him as he prepares to go into this new pastoral challenge. Please pray for Deacon David Viscount and his family as they prepare to leave a community of faith that's been a home to them for many years, to come and find a home here. Pray that he will find a real home. And finally, Father Pat, let's prepare to welcome Father Pat and his generosity to give of his time to help us with sacramental ministry, priestly ministry, while he serves full-time with Chalice. So, another piece of all of this, and one of the big questions for me as pastor is I have to say it's caused me a few sleepless nights, perhaps. Not that many, but a few. I sometimes think that a good place to be as a pastor is when you're simultaneously incredibly excited and absolutely terrified at the same time. And that kind of sums up my experience, because I sense that these are interesting times. These are exciting times. These are, everything is fluctuating and changing. And one thing I know, and this is what I really believe, folks, is that we've got a window of opportunity, a rather urgent window, to change the trajectory of our parish. And we've looked in the past about our statistics and the numbers and the story of our parish. And one of the greatest things I can do is to build a team, of A players, of competent, passionate, committed, talented people, who can help us, unleash the giftedness and potential of all of our parishioners, so that we can move into the future. And we've got all the infrastructure challenges and figuring out our future in terms of buildings and infrastructure. We've got to do internal spiritual renewal. We're setting out on an adventure with the social outreach coordinator position, which we hope to fill soon and announce that, with, stepping forth into something new, partnerships in the community for social outreach. So all of these things are very, very exciting. But one of the things that haunts me is, can we afford this? That's a real question to me. And at the same time, there's a part of me that says, well, can we afford not to? We can't, if our primary goal in this present moment, in this strange time, is to play it safe, I'm not sure if there will be a future. And so we can't play it safe. We've got to boldly go forth and cooperate with the Holy Spirit to create that future. And it means really, shifting our resources. I mean, that's a lot of the big decisions we've made this year have been about the redirecting of resources. And some of that redirection has meant painful decisions around buildings, around staffing, about putting our resources into different roles. And for instance, with our buildings, the question really is, how do we stop our buildings from simply costing us bags of money, and how do we actually reduce the bleed financially from the buildings, and how do we actually use the buildings to actually create revenue? And so that's one of the things we're doing. It's one of the ways in which we're able to put together this staffing team. And this is the point I'm getting to. Please be patient with me. Have another sip of your coffee. Caffeine fueled ministry. The wild card in this is our Sunday collection. We were doing okay. The last couple of months before the lockdown, we were slowly closing the gap with the collections we had last year before the pandemic. We're getting it down to we were just 20% below, which all things considered is not bad. But once again, this lockdown has blown everything up. All of the fine plans that we had and the calculations we made in the budget. And so once again, there's this big question mark. You know as well as I do that you can't have a parish functioning unless we have revenue, and the revenue comes from the offerings that you make on Sundays. And so I just want to make an appeal to you please be intentional about your giving. I mean, some of you have gone through uncertainty with your employment, with your own income. You know what that feels like. We're in this time of urgency where we have to move forward. And so I know that many of you are totally on board with what we're doing and are excited about the possibilities. So I just ask you to, if it's something you keep saying, oh yeah, I've got to do it, please do it. Please go online, contribute online. Please sign up for the automatic withdrawal. That's the best way. That's what I do every month. My giving to the parish is done automatically, or put it in an envelope and put it through the door. But we do need that, and that's probably one of the biggest questions I have going forward. But I'm confident that as we go forward together, that you will step up. I'm confident because there's one indicator, and I just want to close my thoughts with you on this today. A couple of months ago, we had a diocesan collection, and the diocese sent us the financial goal for our parish. I remember when I looked at it, I thought, okay, we'll see. And I made a mention of it in this video, and Do you know, a couple of weeks ago, we got the results of that collection. We hit our goal. In fact, I think we went way beyond the goal that we had, which was phenomenal, which tells me that there's a lot of generous people in our parish. And so it gives me great confidence as we go forward that we're going to hit these goals, not just so that we can pay the bills. I mean, that is the most boring reason to give, to pay the bills. We would pay the bills. We want to change the world. We want to transform our community. Impact our community for the gospel. That's what we want to do, not pay the light bills. And so I invite you to pray about that, to be generous, and to continue to support with your generosity and with your prayers everything that we're trying to do. So God bless you, and thanks for being willing to take the plunge.